if you're getting killed on social media, or it's probably because you're killing it, you're crushing it. But
Chris was like at the epicenter of that. I believe that what happened to Chris with Will is the reason that guy made it okay for himself to jump on stage to Chappelle at the Hollywood Bowl.
I agree.
Without what he had seen at the Academy Awards, he probably would have stayed in his fucking seat.
It became in vogue to smack a comedian over a joke you don't like, which to me speaks to me like as that's an emergency.
That's what
I was in bed in Atlanta watching the Oscars a year ago. We're taping this Oscars week here in Hollywood, so it's exactly a year ago. And when he did that, I said to my girlfriend, I said, if Will Smith gets away with this, I'm done. There's no place I can work that'll feel safe. If Will Smith gets away with hitting Chris Rock, the biggest, the best, his Hollywood colleague over a roast joke, what help is there for any insult comic, especially in this world? It's just over. And luckily there was a media blowback, and then beyond that, the alopecia side of it was so, I'd always covered it up, lied about it. I have alopecia. I always ducked that conversation. I didn't want to be, I didn't want people to like think I was weird or sick. I'm not. I'm healthy. But alopecia is one of those things that I just went bald in a month. So then my eyebrows fell out. Then, it's like your eyelashes fall out and you think you're dying. You find out I'm not dying. It's an autoimmune disease. And I look at Jada Pinkett, who's absolutely beautiful. He makes a benign joke about G.I. Jane 2, which, by the way, I'm going to be starring in. I don't know if I should be mentioning that yet. It hasn't been announced, but I'm going to do it.
Wow. On my podcast. This is like a viral moment.
And if she had laughed at that joke, she would have normalized this condition for hundreds of thousands of people, a lot of children. And my doctor, who's a research doctor at Yale, Dr. Brett King, he had told me only weeks before that about a kid, a 10 or 11-year-old kid who was wearing a wig at school, has alopecia, and they pulled it off and bullied her, and she killed herself somehow. And I thought, wow, if Jada was able to laugh, even fake laugh, that would have helped so many people. Destigmatize, is that the word?
Yep.
The condition. And so I was personally hurt by it. And whereas, forget that Chris is my friend for a second, forget that I'm a comedian for a second, like the alopecia angle on it kind of jolted me out of bed and made me want to defend him and talk about that angle on it.
Yeah, especially because she used it, she kind of weaponized alopecia. Like, you shouldn't mention it. You shouldn't make fun of the fact. And it's not even making fun. Listen, comedy is not making fun. It's making you laugh or smile at something that is not. That's why they call it a sense of humor, because you have to sense the humor where it's not. So here is a young lady suffering from an issue, but so much so that she looks beautiful enough to star in a movie that kind of is depicted by a bald woman. She's
in the front row of the Oscars wearing a $100,000 gown. She looks phenomenal.
And her hair looks phenomenal, too, or her non-hair looks phenomenal.
She has a perfectly shaped head where I look like, Howie Mandel if he drowned.
But Demi Moore was, that comparison, Demi Moore was
gorgeous.
Yes. She shaved her head for that movie.
So I get that there's other arguments that go the other way. Don't tell women how to feel about their hair. Don't tell a black woman how to feel about their hair. Chris Rock should know better. He made a documentary about black women's hair. And I go, all of that is valid. I get all that. But men also, and children also, it's just not happening to adult women. It happens to kids, and it happens to men. And as if men don't care about their hair. It's a $1 zillion industry trying to save men's hair. It's like obviously a sensitive thing. So, I don't think any one person gets to own that conversation. But Chris Rock weighed in on it. He didn't even know she had alopecia.
Right. No, he said that. And either did the world. So the people that were like on Will's side, even before that, I think a lot of people that were on Will's side didn't know she had alopecia. They just thought that.
No, they knew because she did a whole segment about it on her
later
fans.
No. She did a red table, right? That's what's called.
Yeah, Red Table Talk.
She did a Red Table Talk before that about her alopecia. So she's been open about it and talked about it.
But the bigger point is like nobody cared. It wasn't a big deal. It's not a health issue. It's just a cosmetic issue.
But she didn't seem to care either. She came out to destigmatize it.
Can I just stop for 1 second? I just want to shout out to Kenny, our new producer who does the commercials, and I just put him in charge of the board behind us.
What is going
on? Kenny. You didn't meet Kenny, but he's new with us. Anyway, go ahead.
So, I don't know. My point is comedy is king, and we all need to loosen up and laugh a little bit more.